everybody, and welcome back to the Like 31 channel. As you can see, I'm cycling again. I've just left Anchorsholme Park and I'm cycling south home. So yeah, I've just finished work. I left early, it was super duper quiet. I thought today would be really busy. So I thought we'd just cycle and I'd do another vlog chat type video. Please let me know if you like this type of video, and also let me know if you don't like this type of video. So I think, what can we talk about on the way home? The worst movies I've ever seen. So what's the worst movie you've ever sat through in the cinema? So I mean, I've seen plenty of bad movies. Well, I'm not going to say bad movies, I'm going to say I've seen plenty of movies that I really didn't enjoy, because really, whether a movie is bad or good, it's just down to opinion, and the opinion is subjective, you know. What somebody thinks is terrible, somebody else might really enjoy. Before I start, I'm actually going to get across this road first and get through these lights. So bear with me a second. So I really want to keep my eyes on the road while I turn around here. Okay, straight cycle now. But the worst movie I ever saw at the pictures was the Blair Witch Project. For those of you that remember when that was coming out, it was presented as, first of all, real life footage that was found of students that went missing in the forest. And then it came out that it was actually a movie and a clever marketing thing, and it was really hyped up, definitely in England. I don't know what it was like in America, but in England it was super hyped. And I just remember there was an article in the Sun, and there was this reporter, and she'd gone to see the movie with a heart monitor attached to her. And she was saying, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen in my life, and for certain parts of it my heart was racing faster than an Olympic athlete in the 100 metres finals and stuff like that. And I was quite interested in the movie because I liked those types of films, or so I thought I did, and my sister was really interested as well. Both my sisters were really interested. So we all planned on going to see it together, because we all liked a good old scare. So there was myself, my older sister, my younger sister, my older sister's husband, and husband's brother, I think. There was a few of us anyway. And we'd all booked tickets for, I'm pretty sure it was Halloween, at the local cinemas. And there was actually a special midnight showing, but we couldn't get tickets for that, it was booked up. So we'd bought tickets for the earlier showing around 9 PM. So anyhow, we rock up to the cinema with our tickets. We're really hyped up and excited to see the Blair Witch Project. And it starts, and oh my gosh, what an absolute snooze fest. The hardest thing about watching that movie was staying awake. It was so absolutely tedious and boring. I was just like, oh, I'm going to sleep. I think I did fall asleep for a little while, and about half the people walked out just grumbling and moaning that it was boring. We stayed till the end because I'm an optimist. The bits I was awake on, I kept hoping it would improve or get better, or something horribly scary would happen and redeem the movie, but no, nothing particularly happened. It was just a gigantic, badly acted, tedious bore fest. So the movie finally finished. We all just grumbled our heads off, got up in the seat, just moaned and whined about how crappy it was. And after we were leaving the cinema, you could just see everybody waiting to get into the midnight showing, because the midnight showing was starting after the showing we'd been. So they were all waiting to get in, and everybody that was leaving the cinema for the 9 o'clock showing, they were like, don't go in there, get your money back, save your money, it's crap, you'll fall asleep, you'll die of boredom, it's rubbish, don't go in there. And the look of disappointment on their faces was just massive. So yeah, the Blair Witch Project just stuck in my head for the absolute worst movie I've ever sat through at a cinema. And I don't even think it's one of those movies that is so bad it's good. I think it's just plain bad. Another bad movie I sat through was The House of the Dead. I think it was sponsored by Sega. And I like the video game House of the Dead. And I like zombies. And I do like that kind of zombie horror that's so bad it's good. I went to see that, and yeah, that was pretty darn terrible. It looks really terrible. But that's one of those, I didn't mind it being terrible, because whilst it was terrible, I sort of confessed to enjoying bits of it. And there were other bad movies I've seen at the cinemas, which I wouldn't say they were bad as the Blair Witch, but they were just boring, and I pretty much walked out halfway. I went to the movies to see a film called White Noise a long time ago, and yeah, I walked out of that because I just got bored, and I thought, yeah, I paid to see this film, but why actively torture myself by forcing myself to stay to the end of something that is so boring? I'd rather not stay. So yeah, that is some of the worst movies I have ever seen. Now what else can we talk about? The worst service I've ever had from a provider. Well, my recent memory is easy, it's Eon, for the gas card fiasco. And for those of you that follow my videos, you will have heard about all the trouble I had getting a new gas meter and getting a new gas card. But there is actually an exclamation point to that story, because for those of you that followed it, you will have heard me say how many times I had to phone up. I used all the minutes on my mobile contract, and when I complained about that to the person on the phone said to me, oh, you can call us free if you call from a number, your home phone number, that is the number connected to your account, it's free. So I was like, well, I wish I knew that before I wasted all my mobile minutes. So for the next few calls, I'd call them from my home phone. Well, today folks, I got my phone bill, and guess what? Calling that Eon number was definitely not free. Those phone calls cost me £11. So Eon, what's the opposite of a thumbs up? Because that's what I give you today, pretty much the opposite. Okay, let's talk about customer services, and I think this is for everyone, definitely not just Eon. I mean, it was the same with Virgin Media, Sky TV, pretty much every company you ring, you phone up, you get an automated menu, and the automated text menu says something like, to spend more money with us, press 1. To extend your contract, press 2. If you're moving house, press 3. And 9 times out of 10 when people call these numbers, they're having problems. But there is never an option that says, if you're having problems and would actually like to talk to a human, press 4. I've never ever heard of any company that has an option that says, if you're having problems or if you'd like to complain, press that. And it's like those menus, they do everything they can to deter you from speaking to a human. I mean, when I used to be on, years ago, when I used to be on AOL, yeah, because I actually was on AOL at one point. Initially I was on AOL dial-up, so you couldn't use your phone. But once I got the other AOL, when you could use your phone, you'd phone up and you would get this text speak message, and you'd be like, did you know you can contact us online at www.aol.whatever? And I'm like, dude, I'm phoning you because my internet's gone down. I can't contact you online. And anyway, when you can contact people online, they don't reply. They just absolutely never reply. But it seems like years ago, and I'm probably sounding like an old fart now, but years ago, if you phoned up a company, whether it was your gas, your electric, or your local post office, or your doctors even, they'd be like, hello, this is insert company name here, how can I help you today? And they would literally come to the phone straight away. I mean, when I was a kid, if you were sick, your mum or dad would phone the doctor and they'd say, oh hello, I'm so-and-so's mum, he is sick today, and the doctor would come, yeah, I'll be down there in about 20 minutes, I'll add you on to my rounds. So you put the phone down, you drop your pillow on your duvet and get in a makeshift bed on the couch, looking all pale and sick and sorry for yourself, and within about 20 minutes the doctor would come down, take your temperature and write you a prescription out, and then go to his next patient. Nowadays, if you want to make an appointment with a doctor, we'll go, oh, we've got nothing for the next 3 months. And you go, might not be alive in 3 months, I could be seriously ill. Oh well, I am sorry, you should have booked last month if you wanted an appointment this month. And I think the problem is, on the whole, we seem to just accept really bad, crap service. It's like years ago, the type of service that people give today wouldn't be acceptable. And I'm actually not a complainer by nature. I let most things go and I never complain. But it's true. Even in places where you're dealing with people who, face to face with people who serve you, people sometimes just, oh, just take your time attitude. But yeah, maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just getting old and I'm seeing the past through rose-coloured glasses. But I'm certainly correct when it comes to companies on the phone. And they really try their best to not put you through to a person. And even once you get put through to a person, you can't get through, you're not through to the right department. They'll be like, oh, you'll explain everything to them, and they'll say, oh, actually you want this department, not ours. Just put you through. So they put you on hold again, the whole music starts again, and about 15 minutes later, the correct department answers the phone and they go, hello, can I have your account number please? And you're like, what? Oh, I just think this is a long cycle. It didn't seem that long when I was cycling to work this morning, but it seems like a heck of a lot further going home. It's quicker than the tram though when you cycle, especially on a Sunday. rather than waiting for a tram. You don't know when they're going to turn up. And it definitely feels good to be back on my bike again. I feel like I've not had a good old cycle for the longest time. So everyone, if you're still listening to this video, well, thank you firstly, but if you're still listening to this video, just let me know, do you like this kind of videos where I cycle and do stuff and talk about myself and talk about things, or would you prefer more Blackpool based commentary, or would you prefer no commentary? Just let me know which you like the best. I'll probably do a mix of all kinds of videos, so everybody's going to get something they like. Oh, I'm heading towards Gin Square now. I videoed here a few weeks back, and when I got home my camera had broke. Not broke, but it has moments when it just turns itself off and refuses to work and doesn't record certain things. I don't know why it does that, but it's kind of weird. But yeah. I think. Oh, that big roundabout makes me nervous. And I know I'm recording and I'm talking, but I have got my eyes on the road. My camera is actually fixed to my bike, and I'm not even looking at what I'm recording. I'm just totally ignoring my camera, so I can't even see the footage, what I'm getting, because my eyes are on the road. So if it seems like I'm not paying attention, I actually am paying attention, because I don't have a microphone, I'm not holding anything, I'm just talking to my camera. Getting closer now. Once you get past the gate, I feel like I'm nearly home. About to go past the Grand Hotel now on my left. That used to be the Pembroke. And the grassy space that's just before the Pembroke is where the old Derby Baths used to stand. And to this day I miss Derby Baths. And I've said it before in a video, I bet if you had a poll on Blackpool residents and said, what do you miss most about Blackpool since you took it down? I'd like to bet a big proportion would be like, we miss Derby Baths. This bit's hard. It's a very slight uphill gradient, not much but just enough to make my knees have to work harder. Don't know if you can see that through the camera. To the left, the Ambassador Hotel, it's all closed up, looks practically derelict, but it also looks like it would be a beautiful building. It was just refurbished and done up. The tower now is looming larger and larger. That tells me we're getting closer to home. Just gone past Wilton Parade on my left, just passing the Imperial now, but you won't be able to see it from the level I'm cycling at because the camera is probably lower than the wall. Just passing some nice colourful hotels now to my left. Park House Hotel, that's great, but then you've got the Bromley, nice and purple. The prom, cream. Lancaster holiday apartments, turquoise, and the Bedford Hotel, blue. You've got the Palm Beach, and that's painted black. And I'm a person who appreciates different colours like that. If I had my way, I'd just paint everything different colours. I'm a huge fan of rainbows, and pink is my favourite. Yeah, I really do like pink. When I say I like pink, people are like, ugh, why do you like pink, Ica? I'm like, oh, pink's nice. We've got the Tiffany's to my left, that's a nice pink colour. And the Rockcliffe, St James's Hotel. Those grey buildings look very posh. The Parisian Hotel. And coming up now to the Metropole. I mean, really, this is still North Pier area, and I live south of Central Pier. But once I get past the Metropole, I do feel like I'm a stone's throw from home. Just past Cocker Street. Cocker Street is on my Streets and Blackpool series. And this bit of road is super bumpy. So if the video's gone bumpy all of a sudden, I do apologise. There's absolutely nothing I can do about it. I've had people say to me, oh, like you should buy a gimbal, whatever they're called, or you should buy this, you should buy that. And I'm like, oh, I know there's things that could make my video quality better and make my video steadier, but my budget is kind right now is kind of £0 and 0 pence. And here we go. This is where the traffic is going to get a little bit slower. Being on a bike, I can see through a lot of things. That's right, you don't need to give me room to get past. I'm just going to get past this van if I can. Carefully, there we go. The majority of cars don't really give a lot of room to cyclists. And I remember saying that to my brother while he was driving once, because he was driving me somewhere, and I was like, dude, you're driving really close, you're not giving room to any cyclists. And he's like, when I took the driving test, if you drove too far out, you could fail your test. I don't know, I'm not a driver, I've never driven, I've never had a driving lesson, so I have zero knowledge about rules of the road, the highway code, traffic and everything. I'm gonna stay on the prom, I think. I was going to turn around there and go through town, but I think I'll stay on the prom. I mean, yeah, the traffic is slow, but here it's good to be a cyclist. So I'm going to go all the way to the prom, and I'm going to end up going down Chapel Street. This is the best bit of being a cyclist, although again everybody is so close, they're not really giving any room. I do understand that though here, because there's not really a lot of room for traffic. When you think of there's cars and there's buses and there's Landaus, this road, in my opinion, and my opinion doesn't mean much because I'm not a driver, there's not enough room. So I understand why the cars can't give loads of room for cyclists. This guy looks like he's trying to kill me. But I remember the prom when it was double laned, dual carriageway type road. But I only really need to get to Chapel Street and then I can turn off. And Chapel Street is one of my favourite cycling streets. Oops, I'm on the wrong way. Come on. Whenever I see buses or cars coming out from side streets, I always get like, my heart beats a little bit faster because I got hit by a car. I was cycling down Devonshire Road to work and I was in Whitegate Drive, Devonshire Road area, and a car came out of one of the side streets and just basically hit me and knocked me flying off my bike. And whilst I was really lucky, there was very little damage to my bike. Everybody in the car was fine, and whilst I had some fantastic bruises, I wasn't injured. I was shocked, but apart from that, physically, apart from a few bruises where I'd hit the ground quite hard, I wasn't hurt at all. So yeah, really that day was super lucky. But ever since that day, when I'm cycling down the main road and I see a car or a bus or any vehicle coming up a side street towards me, I have a little moment where my heart just skips a beat. Right, I'm going to skip down here now because as we can see, this is one of the best cycle paths in Blackpool because you're on your own little bit of road. It's clearly defined, so there's no people walking here and there's no cars here. So I wish all cycle paths were like this. I think if they were, I think lots more people would cycle. You get some people who just like to walk on the cycle path. Cycle path. That dude just told me to watch where I was going, and yet he decided to walk on the cycle path rather than the pavement, and that bit wasn't even a shared path, it was just a cycle path. I'm going to get on the road now, even though the cycle path does run along the pavement to the end. I'll do the last bit on the road. I need to be on the other side. I'm just going to stick my hand out to signal. Come on, lights change. I always feel like I'm holding cars up on corners like that, but I do always signal and I do always say tucked in as tight as I can get. I do try to be a responsible cyclist, because as a cyclist who doesn't drive, the obnoxious cyclists still annoy me. You know, the type that travel round in packs and they take up the whole of the road so nobody can get by. Or the cyclists that cycle on pavements. And when I say cyclists who cycle on pavements, I don't mean every person that cycles on the pavement. I mean, if you're a little kid, or you have anxiety, or you're just learning, or for some reason you can't cycle on the road, I mean, of course cycle on the pavement. But if you're a perfectly capable adult, I don't see the point of just thundering down the pavement at breakneck speeds and potentially hitting people, when it's pretty easy to cycle on the road. I mean, even on busy roads. Well, I'm going to actually close off this video now because I am getting fairly closer to home, and I definitely don't want to film myself cycling all the way home. So if you're still here, wow, you are awesome, and thank you for sticking with me throughout this whole video. Please leave a like and a comment, and I shall see you folks in the next video. Goodbye.